Gas Nation, it is I, Christopher Rausch, your No Excuses coach and the host of the Raw and Unscripted podcast. Unscripted.com. Check it out. It's on there, the video cast. But, anyways, hey, this is probably my first time going live on YouTube Direct. Normally I go on Facebook and then I repurpose the content. But I was like, you know what? YouTube has an opportunity to say, hey, you can have something to say. So here I am out here walking Scooby. If you've never seen my walk and talk videos, it's where I just grab my phone as I'm walking and I'm thinking about stuff in my life. And I figure if I'm thinking about it and I'm going through it, you might be going through it too, or growing through it. And so, yeah, I just wanted to kind of just talk about life. Life, life, life is lifing. For a lot of people right now. And there's two different types of people. There are the people who will say, "Why is this happening to me?" And there's people that say, "What can I learn from this?" Right? Not easy to say, what can I learn from this? Because oftentimes we've already had to learn so many lessons in our life that we're exhausted, we're tired. Why is God testing me? Why am I being tested all the time? You're being tested all the time because you're great. You're fucking awesome. You keep graduating your tests. And life has a way of saying, hey, did you really learn your lesson? Because we're here to learn lessons. We have this a human experience. We're souls having this human experience to come here and experience life, to see, feel, touch, taste, hear, smell. And so oftentimes we take that for granted because we're constantly striving to live up to the expectations of others. And what happens when we try to live up to the expectations of others? We get disappointed. We feel rejection. We feel anger, resentment. Man, I always reach out to them and support them. They never support me. And then we kind of take all these little signs and we think the world is so terrible for us. But all we have to do is look around and realize, hey, what am I supposed to be learning from this? And then, no matter how overwhelming it is, just say, what's the one thing I can do right now? What's the one thing I could do? Because it's all about dominoes. You guys know dominoes. You flip the domino over and the next domino goes over. Before you know it, all are over. But if you never flip that first domino over, they just stay standing and they occupy an entire room. And I've had that, right? I'm the No Excuses coach. I've been in personal growth and personal development all my life. I've been teaching it, I've been speaking about it, I've been writing about it, I've been podcasting about it. I read it, I study it. And yet there's still so many times where I myself feel like that. I was just having a conversation with one of my mentors the other day, and I said, man, how do you not have expectations? Or how do you not get disappointed from your expectations? Because you have to have expectations. And he was kind of saying not to have them. Now, I understand what he's saying because then you won't be disappointed. However, the expectation I have is that if something presents itself, I may whine and bitch about it and be like, Jesus. But I do that for a day or two. And then I, again, decide, okay, what's the one thing that I can do by which doing so will help me feel like I'm being a part of the solution, not part of the problem? What's that for you? What solutions do you need to create in your life? And some of those solutions might be just taking a look around and ask yourself, do the people in my life push me to become better? Or do they encourage me to stay safe? Do they excuse? What are you doing? You've been through tough times before, right? Yeah. Did you get through them? Yeah. What happened when you got through them? I felt great about myself because I endured something that I didn't think I could endure. I didn't want to endure. I felt it was unjustified that I had to endure. But on the other side, I became stronger. What's up, guys? I can't see your names, but thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you guys talking about life, lifing, right? And it's doing that for a lot of people. So you sit there and have to accept, or really choose is a better word. Are you a victim or are you a victor? Right? And what example are you setting for the people that are in your life? Because again, going back to the people that are in your life, are they constructive or destructive? Are they doing the things that you want to do? Or are they staying simple? Are they staying stuck? Are they staying in a blame oriented life? Because what do you get from blaming people? You get nothing. You get justification for your victimness. And yes, people have been through a lot of shit. I've been through a lot of shit in my life. Jesus Christ. I don't ever want to repeat it, but I'm glad that I went through it. I'm glad. I'm proud that I went through it because it was able to give me a perspective to see that yes, you can get through tough stuff. I was homeless at the age of 13 years old. I grew up in an abusive household for my entire life. Mother was had various psychological disorders and drug dependencies and alcoholism and men. And surprisingly, I've done pretty well in my life because I never gave up. People ask me like, how did you get through it? I'm like, I never stopped. I gave myself the opportunity and I didn't give myself any excuses. I remember I dropped out of school in the 7th grade at 13 years old to be homeless, to live in the car with my mom and 18 cats and 4 dogs. That's no lie. And through that process, I never went back to school until I was 18 years old. And somebody said, "Hey, have you ever thought about getting a GED?" And I'm like, what the hell is that? And God's honest truth, I thought I was stupid because why? My mom told me I was stupid. I didn't do good in school because nobody diagnosed me with ADHD. Nobody diagnosed me with having a vision problem. Nobody diagnosed me with having a hearing deficiency. And so ultimately found out there was a little bit of a challenge in how I learned. But I took it to mean that I was stupid. I took it to mean I was unlovable. I took it to mean there was something wrong with me for a lot of my life. And it was hard. It was hard to trust people. It was hard to love people. It was hard to be loved. But ultimately, because I decided I didn't want to be that person. You have to get to a breaking point, guys. You have to get to a breaking point. And I'll tell you this, ask yourself the question, when will I have had enough? When will I have had enough of whatever it is? When will I have had enough of my husband not showing me love and affection? When will I have had enough of my boss being condescending and arrogant? When will I have had enough of my coworker constantly taking breaks all the time? Whatever it might be, because there is enough. You will get to a breaking point with that situation and something will change. You'll either quit your job, you'll find another job, you'll talk to the person, you'll do something to change because why? You have leverage. You've decided, you made that decision. I'm not going to be fat anymore. I'm not going to be a gambler anymore. I'm not going to be an alcoholic anymore. And you could do it. It doesn't take much time. You just sit there and have to make the decision like, you know what? I'm not that person anymore. I don't choose to live in the perception of myself being that way. Like when I used to drink a lot, never really an alcoholic, but close. But one day I was just sitting there going, why am I doing this? I tell everybody I want to live a long time and be here for my kid, but I'm pouring literal poison, little poison down my gullet to not feel my feelings, not feel my emotions, to run away, to take a break, as I used to say. Oh, I need a break. Give me a break. Give me a break. Break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar. Bet you didn't know you were going to get that. I needed a break. But then I decided that I'm being a hypocrite. I'm being incongruent. So I encourage you, number one, determine what your values are. What do you value the most in your life? Right? Oh, I value trust. I really value trust and honesty. People tell me that. And I'm like, are you being honest with yourself right now? And chances are you're not. Chances are you're lying to yourself. Chances are you're convincing yourself that something will change someday. Something will change someday. Someday when this and someday when that, and I'll be happy. When I have the job, when I have the money, when my spouse does this, or when I find a spouse, or when I get the job I want, whatever it might be, then I'll be happy. I'm going to be 57 years old. 2 weeks? I can tell you, happiness comes from being in the moment and realizing you're fucking alive, and it's pretty cool. I'm here in sunny Southern California. I'm out here walking my dog. I'm so grateful that I get to see, hear, smell, taste. James Vanderbeek, the actor, I don't really know who he was. I mean, I know who he is, but I'd watched his story as he struggled with colorectal cancer and died at 48. They show a picture of him sitting at the beach, just enjoying the moments. You got to enjoy the moments. Life isn't somewhere ahead. Life is right now. And if something bad happened to you, you're in the hospital, you got cancer, you're connected to IVs or something like that, you'd be like, man, I'd love to go for a walk right now. I remember when I had back surgery and I couldn't work out and I couldn't go outside and I couldn't really walk. I was so miserable. Like, man, I would just love to lift some weights right now. It's the small things, and they're not small. being able to spend time with your family. Like my kid's 9 and I've been short with him lately. I'll admit I've been short and it sucks. And I apologized to him. I said, I'm sorry. So daddy's in a lot of pain right now. Apparently my ferritin level is dangerously low. So I think I have to go for an infusion. Shit's wrong with my blood. I don't feel good, but I'm still out here doing it. After I take the dog back, I've already walked my other dog. I'm going to go to the gym. How do you do it, Chris? I put one foot in front of the other and I make a decision that this afternoon I want to look back on the morning and go, yeah, didn't feel like it. Extreme shortness of breath. I'm only walking right now and I'm out of breath. But I want to look back and have a feeling of accomplishment, a sense of pride in who I am. So when somebody says, what's up? Hey, here's what's up. And I inspire people. I inspire you. That's why I do the podcast, Raw and Unscripted. I've been doing it for 7 years. I do it out of the goodness of my heart. I don't make any money on it. I don't do advertising. I do it because I want to show up every single week for people who can't afford to coach with me. I do walk and talks. I do this stuff. I do it to remind myself of what I need to do because, again, that congruency, those values. My values is I'm not going to be a fucking hypocrite. So here, think about it this way. If your best friend or your kid or your mom or somebody came up to you with the situation you have right now, I guarantee it, you'd probably have 17 suggestions for them. And oftentimes I see people that with their life are all fucked up. And I'll say, oh, I got this situation. I'll just test it. I got the situation going on and I'll mimic it similar to theirs. Like, oh, you should do this. You should do this. You should do this. I said, number one, I didn't ask you. Don't give people unsolicited advice. Listen, listen. Oh man, that must be tough. I can't even imagine that. What do you ask questions? Seek to understand, then to be understood. Sorry, my dog is very excited. Say hi, Scooby. Scooby's our newest pup. Oh, he's exhausting. Um, so yeah, you got to have the bigger picture. You got to have the bigger opportunity to realize your greatness because we're all going to die and we're all going to get those last moments to think about on our life. Did we really live it to our best? Did we really enjoy our food? Right? Really taste your food next time. Really sit there. Man, the sauce in this is great. I could taste the peppers. I could taste the onions. I could taste the oregano. Wow. Right? You have a birthday party. Be at the birthday party. Don't be looking at your phone. Don't be thinking about shit that hasn't happened yet or shit you can't change that already has happened. Enjoy the moment. Be present. Take care of yourself. Number one, you got to take care of your mind, body, and your soul. Get out there, get exercise. Make sure you're drinking water. Look for opportunities to solve situations. Look for ways to be proud of yourself every single day. My word this year is completion. So when I'm doing something, I tend to be ADHD that I'm gonna sit there and I'm gonna go do something else. I can sit there and say, like, hey, I'm gonna complete this. I'm not gonna leave it half-assed and come back to it later because I know I probably won't. And then I'll feel frustrated and disappointed in myself because I didn't. So let's just complete it. What would it take just to complete it right now? Another 20 minutes? Okay, another 20 minutes, and then I could actually, okay, I can actually, people are running up behind me. Scooby gets weird. Um, and then you do it, and you're like, fuck, I kept my word. Can you keep your promises to yourself? Stop it. Can you keep your promises to yourself? Can you? You start keeping your promises to yourself, guess what? You make more commitments, and then you do more stuff, and then you realize, you know what? It wasn't so hard. And then you'll say something that I hear so often. I wish I'd have done it sooner. I hear that all the time from people who took 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, even to get a divorce. I wish I'd have done it sooner. I knew the marriage was going to fucking fall apart 3 months later, but I stuck with it because I thought if I did this, that person would change. I thought if I did that, look for the signs and don't compromise your values. Don't compromise things you deserve and the love that you deserve and the respect that you deserve. So there you have it. I try to keep them to about 15 minutes. I love you guys. Make sure you check out my podcast, Raw and Unscripted. You go to rawandunscripted.com or you can go wherever you get podcasts or right here on YouTube. There's a whole playlist. There's a whole playlist of walk and talk videos. There's a whole playlist of short videos that are under 60 seconds. There's even videos of me wearing a suit and tie back in the day. All right. I love you guys. I will see you next time. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, hit the alert bell, all that good stuff. And I'll go back and read the comments when I have my reading glasses on. I hope you got value out of this. Stay kick ass unstoppable. Thank you so much. Peace.